Hello students, I hope you all are fine and doing your well. This is second chapter of class plus 2 mathematics, inverse trigonometric functions. What do you mean by inverse trigonometric functions? Before that, let us understand what the functions are and what you have studied in the previous classes. It's very important to recall back the formulas, recalling back what we have done, so that it becomes easy for us to understand the new things, as well as while revising it we come to know something more about it which we have forgot. So let us revise. We have done trigonometric functions. What are functions? Now you have studied how the trigonometric functions sin x, cos x, tan x can be used, why it is used, where it is used. We have done that application in class 10th. It was started in class 10th. It was used to find an unknown side length of right triangle. So what was important at that time, that right angle must be given so that we can find any of its side, either hypotenuse or base or perpendicular, right? And what is ensure that it is given, that is angle. Now what are inverse trigonometric functions, which we are going to study today? The inverse trigonometric functions sine inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, cot inverse x, whatever, are used to find an unknown measure of an angle of right triangle when two sides length are known. So what do you conclude from here? That earlier in trigonometric functions angle was given, right? Like 30 degree, suppose 30 degree is given, so what is sine 30? You know. What is sine 45? You know. So you have to find the side by knowing the angle, and here what is given to you? Side is given to you, you have to find the angle, right? So it means in trigonometric what is given, in inverse you have to find. In trigonometry what you have to find, in inverse that is given. So it is just ulta pulta only. So we can say this is inverse trigonometric function, inverse of trigonometric function. I hope you are clear, and I'll explain you very briefly when we will be starting with the chapter. So this is just the introduction, what is inverse trigonometric functions. Now let us take some example according to this only. So see example number 1. A base of a ladder is placed 3 feet away from a 10-foot high wall so that the top of ladder meets the top of wall. What is the measure of angle formed by ladder and the ground? So what is concluded here? You have to find the angle with the by the ladder with the ground. So how will you find this? I hope you have seen this. So how will you find this? Now let us see this answer. Here we have a right triangle where we know lengths of any two sides, that is the side opposite and the adjacent angle is given, right? So what was given in this question? You know, you have seen the picture. It was like this. This is 10 and this is 3. This is right angle triangle. So what is this? This is perpendicular, this is base, right? We have to find this angle. So which property we will apply? We have done in class 10th. Some people have curly brown hair turning permanently black. So turning permanently black means tan. Tan theta is equals to perpendicular upon base, right? Turning T, permanently perpendicular, base B, right? Black. So tan inverse, now you have to find this theta, right? So what is theta now? Theta is equals to this, tan will go there, tan inverse 10 by 3, and you have done angles of 45, 30, 90, 60 and so on, but you have not done 3.33. This becomes 3.33, and you don't know what is the value of tan inverse 3.3, right? So it has been solved. This is equals to 1.28. No worries, we are going to do it. So this is how tan inverse is applied, right? So this was just the introduction of what are functions, what are inverse trigonometric functions, right? Now the first line which plays a very important role here, how can we come to know what is the main necessity of inverse trigonometric function, right? So very first line, please underline this. We have studied that inverse of a function is denoted by f inverse. It exists if the function is 1 1 and onto, if the function is 1 1 and onto. So we are going to study that inverse trigonometric functions are those functions which are 1 1 and onto. And what is 1 1 and onto, I will explain by taking an example. Come to basic concepts. Before basic concept, there is written inverse trigonometric function plays a very important role in calculus, for they serve to define many integrals. Inverse trigonometric functions are used in science and engineering, right? So these are some of the importance. Now basic concepts. What do you mean by basic concepts? We are going to revise trigonometric functions. What are trigonometric functions? Something we put in sign, right? We put in sign something. What we put? Angle, right? And what we get? We get like 1 0 minus 1 and something like that. We get these things, right? So whatever we are putting is the domain, and whatever we are getting is the range, right? Angles are domain and the values, the numbers are range, right? So we have done these things. See, the sign in function, sign is whatever we are putting, that is angle. Pi by 2, pi by 2 is what? 90 degree, 180 degree, 1050 degree, whatsoever, right? Even we are putting negative angles also, minus 90 degree, minus 270 degree. What is the value of sine? Minus 270 degree. This we have done in detail in class +1. So we are putting a real number, and what we are getting, whenever we are getting the answer between -1 and 1. If you see the graph of sine function, this is the graph of sine function. Here at this is 0, right? So sine 0, then sine pi by 2, like this. So we are going to do it in detail. This table is just to understand that the whatever we are putting, angles we are putting, angles are anything. In tan inverse, angle minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2, matlab pi by 2 factors we are not putting. Like, why we are not putting pi by 2? Because tan pi by 2 is not defined, that is equals to infinity, that is not defined. So we are neglecting the values of integrals of pi by 2, right? Cot r, we are neglecting n pi, means pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, whatever you put n as number, right? So this table you have to learn what are the domain and ranges of trigonometric function before starting with the inverse trigonometric function. I hope this is clear to you now. Moving on to the next page. Now let us understand what is inverse of a function. Very important to understand it, because we know what are functions now, right? So inverse of a function. Here what is written, corresponding to every bidirection f ranges going from A to B, there exists another bidirection. What do you mean by bidirection first, right? Bidirection, the function need to be 1 1 1 1 and onto. This is bijection. G ranges B to A defined by G of y is equals to x if and only if f of x is equals to y. So G of B approaches to A is called the inverse of f of A approaches to B, and it is denoted by f G is equals to f inverse, right? So what is inverse of a function? I will give you the detail of on1 and on2. Actually it is in chapter 1, real functions. Now I will explain that much which you need to know now. What is inverse of a function? Corresponding to every bijection, for bijection the function need to be on1 and on2. In that case, function g in which a and b interchange, if you see, this is domain, whatever we are putting, this is domain, changes to b, right? A to b. And what is g? B changes to a. So you understood, in this case function g in which b to a is just the interchange of function f which is from a to b. So what does this imply? This implies that domain and range interchange when the function is bijected, that is on1 and on2. This is the inverse of a function. Now let us understand this table. This is table 2.1, figure 1. Here this is a table of sine function, right? Sine function which is going from certain domain to certain range. What is domain here? If you see the domain, we are putting angle 0, we are putting angle pi by 2, we are putting 3 pi by 2, we are putting any of these angles. So x-axis is domain here, and what is y-axis? Y-axis is range here. And which values we are getting? From -1 to 1. These we are getting, right? So now, is this function 1 1? Can we check how to check 1 1? We have done in class +1 also. What do you mean by 1 1 function? As I put value of x, there exists a unique value of y, right? As I put single value of x, like I have this, if I put 1, so I have to get 1a. If I am putting something 2 here, so I have to get another value of, right? So for every value of x, I am having a unique value of y. This function is 1 1, right? So here, is this function 1 1? Let us check. If I put pi by 2, I am getting 1. If I put 5 pi by 2, again I am getting 1. So this is not 1 1. Why it is not 1 1? For pi by 2, this is my pi by 2, I am getting what? 1. This is 1, this is 0, this is -1. I am getting 1. For my 5 pi by 2, I am getting 1, right? And same, if I have to put that this minus pi, so I am again getting 1. So at so many values, I am getting only one image, that is 1. Same, I am for different values, I am getting 1 -1, right? So this function is not 1 1. If this function is not 1 1, how to find its inverse then? Because this is a condition to find the inverse trigonometric function if the function is 1 1 and onto. What do you mean by onto now? Onto is for every, there are 1 2 3, right? This is 4 and this is 5. For every y there exists some x, right? This is onto. Is it clear? So this function is not 1 1 and onto. So how we will find inverse? So there is only one and one solution. So what we will do? We have to make something fixed. We have to fix the domain, because we are getting the value as -1 to 1. If I fixed this domain, now here this is the domain, I fixed minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, I have fixed. If I fix this domain including minus pi by 2 and pi by 2, for every value of x I am getting different value of y. Now you have a question, why to fix only minus pi by 2 to pi by 2? Why not other? Like 0 to pi we have different values only, pi to 2 pi we have different values, right? So this question can arise here, but we are not getting, in 0 to pi we are not getting the value -1. Range we have to cover, full range is -1 to 1. So we have restricted some of the domains. Now first is, we can take value from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? Or we can take pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, or we can take pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Here also I am getting each and every value from 1 to -1, right? And third is, I can get this also, right? So I can get this interval also, this to this and this to this. I can get so many intervals. Now I have one interval, but I want to fix one value now. which interval I will take. For the case of simplicity, I will take minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now I have fixed this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. It means domain I have fixed. And what is my range? Range is minus 1 to 1. So what is domain here? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And what is my range here? Range is minus 1 to 1. I have put closed interval. Now to get sine inverse. How to get sine inverse now? Sine inverse can be written as, what is my function now? F, that is sine x. This is sine x. Ranges from kahan se kahan tak? That is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Ranges from minus 1 to 1. This is domain. This is what I am putting, and what I am getting, this is range. So what is sine inverse x? That is minus 1 to 1. Ranges minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. I hope you are clear with it. I have changed a b to b to a. This is how I will get my inverse now. So this is sine inverse x now. For every trigonometric function we have to do this. So like in cos also we have to fix some branch, in tan also we have to fix some branch. So for each and every function I will not do, the graphs are given. So thoroughly read your chapter, read your introduction part. Moving on to the table now. Let us see this table. I have made a table here. This is table of inverse trigonometric function. As I have explained you, sine inverse domain is now minus 1 to 1. I hope you are cleared with, because sine function domain is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and range is minus 1 to 1. And here if you will see, domain is minus 1 to 1 and range is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos inverse minus 1 to 1, range is 0 to pi, and so on. So now the question arises, it is very important to learn these range first. This is very important to learn these range first. This column is very important to learn. How will you learn this ranges? It's very important. Most important thing here, range has another name, that is principal value branch. Its another name is principal value branch. It is given in your book here, principal value branch. How to learn this table? Most important thing in the entire chapter from where question arises. So properties of this chapter and this principal value branch column is very important. Now very important question is, how will you learn it? How to remember this range? Let me give you a simple basic funda to make you learn it easily. Now we have done, there are 4 quadrants, right? This is quadrant 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Everyone knew it, right? Now in these quadrants, just make it easy and keep it in mind that in the 3rd quadrant, please listen to it carefully and note it side by side in your copies. Nothing is there in the 3rd quadrant. Nothing. It's gone. All right? Nothing is there in the 3rd quadrant. Everything, whatever is there, moves in the 1st, 2nd and 4th quadrant. Now see how to learn. We have to make the groupism. Groupism means we will take 3 functions that always remains together. There are 3 functions that always lives together. What is that 3 function? Sine inverse, cosecant inverse and tan inverse. These are the 3 functions that remains together every time. Whenever you will learn the properties, whenever you will learn anything, just make it clear that these 3 functions will always remain together. They have joined their hands, they move together, they work together, they eat together, whatever it is, right? So just take these 3 functions together. When you will take these 3 functions together, it will be taken during properties 2. These functions are very stubborn. These always stays together. Now These functions are sine inverse, cosecant inverse, and tan inverse. Others are in other category, whatever others are, right? Now if you see range column of this, let me erase it first. Now range column of sine inverse, cosecant inverse, and tan inverse. See this range column: minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, excluding 0. So what you have got, that minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, same pattern. If you see range column, they all have same pattern, that is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Why it is so? Let me explain you this now. This is first quadrant, this is 0, this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, and this is 3 pi by 2. In place of 3 pi by 2, we can also write it as minus pi by 2, right? So if you say this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, here lies function sine inverse, cosecant inverse, and tan inverse, minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? So minus pi by 2, I have explained you the table. From minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, all these two values also together, the domain is minus 1 to 1, right? Now see its reciprocal. Sine reciprocal is 1 upon cosecant. Okay? So what is cosecant? Cosecant is 1 upon sine, and 1 upon sine, where this function is not defined, when the sine is this, theta becomes 0, sine theta, and when it is 0, at 0, right? So 0 degree is not included. So here we have closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, but except 0. So this is the range of cosecant inverse, because domain of cosecant is all values from minus 0, right? Here is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 except 0. I have explained you why we are not taking 0, because cosecant inverse is not defined at 0 degree, right? So next, moving on to tan inverse. Tan inverse is open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Why I have taken open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2? Because what is tan pi by 2? Tan pi by 2 is not defined, that is infinity. Similarly, tan minus pi by 2 is not defined. So at minus pi by 2 and pi by 2, tan is not defined. So we cannot include these values in this. So it means the tan inverse range is open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Is it clear, everyone? So these three functions are together. It's easy to learn like this. Sine inverse, tan inverse, cosecant inverse. The function is from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For sine inverse, it is closed interval. For tan inverse, it is open interval. For cosecant inverse, it is closed interval except 0. Now moving on for the next three functions, that are cos inverse, secant inverse, and rest is cot inverse. Now if you again see cos inverse, secant inverse, and cot inverse, the range is 0 to pi. Again for secant inverse 0 to pi minus pi by 2, cot inverse 0 to pi open interval. So this is 0, excuse me, this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is minus pi by 2, right? So range is 0 to pi. This is coming in first and second quadrant, right? So 0 to pi by 2, cos 0 is 1, cos pi is again minus 1. So its value is principal value branch, that is ranges from closed interval 0 to pi, right? Now for secant inverse is 1 upon cos. It is not defined when cos becomes 0, and when the cos is 0, at pi by 2, right? In between this, cos 0 is where? At pi by 2. So it is 0 to pi closed interval except pi by 2. So we are neglecting pi by 2 here. And what is rest now? Cot inverse. What is cot inverse now? Cot inverse is cos upon sine. Cot is cos upon sine. When this is not defined, when the sine becomes 0. At what sine becomes 0? At sine 0 degree is 0, right? Sine pi is 0. this is 0. So cos upon 0 becomes not defined, so neglecting 0 and pi, so at every value neglecting 0 and pi, the function is defined everywhere, so it becomes open interval 0 to pi. Is it clear? So these are the basic fundas that you have to learn. These tricks will help you to learn this. I already told you that range is very important. If you have understood range, it means you have cracked this 90% of this chapter.